Gaddes, I made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say... Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, of course. My apologies, Gaddes. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning. With a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions Themis and Ericthonios was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains, Asphodelos. In the depths of Pandaemonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Uh-huh. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole. And indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This could only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. What? So I have to go finding that one? So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. Oh, you'll search for it. Okay. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it'll be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Gaddes grace us with his protection? No, that's not necessary. I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rissenard. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandaemonium, where this all began. From all that we've heard, it appears the time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would not be prudent to check in on occasion, or it would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any anticipated changes. Like every raid tier, perhaps? As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask that you remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean, do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you take good care of the laboratory in my absence. Wait, is this dude a fighter? How's he going to defend himself? Okay, bye. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke to you last time, none but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone, he'd come to realize how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain he'll head back to his usual self. As for you, Gaddes, it might be best to return to Pandaemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There is something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandaemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant! Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Gaddes has yet to encounter. If your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Alright. See you guys later then. You seek records of Pandaemonium's creations. Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. Excuse me, Mr. Fatbird. Thank you. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandaemonium's protective wards continued to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Ericthonios' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions than I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it shall not take long. We simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the Neos in Pandaemonium. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandaemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for Lahabrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Ericthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude towards my mother and father. Oh, I wonder what your mother and father look like. Yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandaemonium seem to view Lahabrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There are many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of Lahabrea. Oh, this guy again. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandaemonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandaemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of Lahabrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could easily be ushered into their new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of Lahabrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited, information, I cannot but feel that the Academia and Nider would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found here, or there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandaemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creations kept within Pandaemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures and creations deemed too flawed to even submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandaemonium's researchers. That is quite the change. In fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master Lahabrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. Uh-oh. So if Pandaemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under Lahabrea's authority, correct? We've got some tricky business going on here. I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master Lahabrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit, as of late, their communications have been somewhat sporadic, we but recently reviewed a report from one of the keywards stating that all is well within Pandaemonium's halls. Well, that is complete horseshit. Somebody's covering something up. Really? And you're certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Maybe they're all corrupted. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That'll be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Oh no, we'll disturb them as much as we need to, thank you. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. What is going on down there? Alright, Themis, let's get in there. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Ericthonios at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. This poor guy being left alone in this fucking dungeon world. I hope he's okay. He's a good kid. Wait, what does he do? Oh, he's practicing, right. Or I hope he's practicing. Oh, did you mean to break it? Or did you fail? Oh, not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Oh. There's something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. Isn't this one of those weird tooth things that was part of the Phoenix fight? You allow this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you, and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of Lahabrea, your father. He doesn't really like Daddy Dearest, though. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I have heard those words many times, the scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even Keyward Hesperos. That could only mean one thing. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, Lahabrea. Oh, shit. At last you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, What is he scheming? We need to save his ass. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandaemonium's great experiment. Ugh, there's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What? Are you... What did he do to him? Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. Quick, attack the eyeball. Good. Exactly what I wanted you to do. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. Yeah, you tell him, Eric. So, these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. Yeah, we got some history, you and I. You just don't know it yet. Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shuddered to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Oh, and the answer is completing the quest. Masks of the Father. Ericthonios is certain he knows the identity of Pandaemonium's assailant. Man, I'm sorry, but your dad's kind of an ass. And so there can be but one conclusion. Lahabrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the Lahabrea I know. You have met him then, yes? Do you think he is capable of this? The one I know, sure. How many Lahabreas are there? I keep wanting to say Lahabreds, because it does look like his name says Lahabred, just missing the D. Lahabrea is capable of far more than you know. Still too early to say for certain. No, let's get this all out on the table now. Is he? So you believe Lahabrea to be a man of few scruples if it brings his goals closer in reach? That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, Lahabrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be the one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left upon me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seemed guided by a firm understanding of what is just. Wait, so this is the Themis, Elidibus, sweetheart. This is like the equivalent of saying, like, Have you seen those dudes where they're like, I actually saw this just the other day. I met Elon Musk for 10 minutes. He seems like an upright guy with a lot of values. It's like, how the hell would you know any of that by a short, cursory meeting with somebody? That's not even enough to scratch the surface of what they really are. Like, Themis is smart. I'm surprised he would so easily say, oh, even though we met for like a minute, he seemed like, you know, a good guy. There's only one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. Lahabrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandaemonium. We can safely assume the other keywards won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let's make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Ericthonios' side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? You got it. Ready to crack some skulls. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scale somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. Are you saying I'm fat? Oh, it's that same weird oh, there I go. That same weird essence that Lahabrea almost used on Ericthonios before. Wow, what the hell? Oh, this is the one in the trailer or whatever that looked like a fucking carbuncle on steroids. Which is funny because I'm a summoner for this. It is proto-carbuncle. Holy shit. So who decided to make it cute? It does not look like mine at all. Mine looks like a stuffed animal. All right. Ooh, better not touch those spikes. Holy shit. They're much bigger looking than I remember from P4. Oh, this also is new music too. It already sounds more interesting than the previous raid tier, so I'm satisfied. Okay, what are we looking at here? There's divisions of colors on the floor, so I bet that's gonna be a thing. We have to get behind this? Okay. Searing Ray. Oh no, that's not gonna be good. What is that? Uh-oh. What did the little, magic wands mean? Don't actually know where it's safe to stand here. Oh, okay, I lucked out. Searing Ray again? Okay. Are those little magic wands just the effect that it does, I wonder? Or is this like when you fight Kefka in the raids and like sometimes the question mark stuff means do like the opposite? Nice. It feels funny being the only summoner in a fight with a mutant carbuncle. Kind of cool though. Alright. I think maybe I'm starting to understand the topaz stone stuff. Just a bit. Uh-oh. Alright. So... what the hell? So it's gonna go in that pattern. So I just need to not do whatever the fuck that pattern is. Or go where it just ended. Oh god. Oh. That worked out better than expected. I wonder how hard this would be as a savage fight. It more or less makes sense on its own, but I bet there's a hell of a lot more mechanics that aren't being shown. Oh, wait, what? I guess no DPS used the limit break. My bad. I assumed the samurai was gonna do it. Oh well. I wonder at what point they decided to go from mutant carbuncle to the absolute most adorable carbuncle. Maybe something got lost in translation once everybody was sundered. A lot of mushrooms. The fuck? It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids land with all these huge plants. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Ericthonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Yeah, if I didn't have 7 other people, that would make it kind of difficult. Even alone, you're a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. This looks like a big, disgusting pizza, because these circles look like shitty pepperonis. Oh! Oh, it's straight up Lahabrea! Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe we can forego introductions unless I have misread you. What the fuck? Huh. I didn't expect him to appear this early, but I guess that'll help answer questions. He certainly doesn't look anything like he did in the source. Lahabrea. I'm all too familiar, Paragon. Am I supposed to know who you are? That I know who he is. Let's not be ridiculous about that. And also, it's boring to just say Lahabrea. He might find this interesting because I know his term. I'm all too familiar, Paragon. A charming appellation, but I'm afraid I hold no such position. No? I am Lahabrea of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Oh! Ugh, what is this? Did you cast gravity on him? What the hell? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Is it my dynamis that's protecting me? Such thin ether, and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. Yeah, just try me. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Ericthonios' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Oh, wait, the dead mom? So, is he holding her hostage? Like he lied about her being dead? Mother? You would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Ericthonios. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Ericthonios, wait. There's a question I must needs ask first. Oh, Elidibus is pissed. If you truly are Lahabrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. Oh, is he gonna make him say Elidibus? A simple request. Oh, I guess he wasn't Elidibus yet. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as are you. I have my answer. The Lahabrea that I knew took pride in the Convocation and would never suffer its denigration. Oh, he's gonna Hulk out? Yeah, let's see two ancients fight. You sully his station with his farce. Themis, what are you saying? Lahabrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real Lahabrea would never call me by the name Themis. Oh. What the fuck? Okay, how many Lahabreas are there? What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Oh, okay. This guy knows who he is. This is the actual Lahabrea. So what the fuck is this? This is an Asian, but in a time of ancients. Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. So who are you? Oh, it's just an angry man. What? Who? Maybe... Huh. Maybe he really is Ericthonios' dad, because he's got the red eyes. This looks... Maybe it's like a crazier, younger version of Lahabrea. He's more tan than I expected. Similar hair color? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of Lahabrea, a man who values his position above all. Who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty? Murder? Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right? Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Ericthonios, listen well. I am Hephaestus. That sounds familiar. Much like that, yeah, Themis might be the Greek goddess of justice. These are all definitely names that came from somewhere. I don't think the dev team just made them up. They probably found good sounding names from previous myths. Hephaestus definitely sounds familiar. And it is I whom you should call father. Oh shit. Wait, what? Was this dude parading around as Lahabrea, knocked up Athena, and had a kid? What in the name of creation? I mean, this Lahabrea also still has red eyes. We would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order. Elidibus, let us return to safety so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the Lahabrea I know. Crotchety old man. I feel bad for Ericthonios. Who the hell is his father then? Unless it's like somehow both? Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As Lahabrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. Is his name going to change after this? For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. Am I going to say I knew? I had a feeling. Whatever your name is, you're still Themis to me. I know a thing or two about deception myself. Wait, what? When did I deceive people? I thought I was a good boy. I had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, it shall make my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as Lahabrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Let's get off this gross, rotten pizza. Oh, please help him. Save him. Now, is that Athena's voice? Who is that? As you are aware by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azim and I detected irregularities in Pandaemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure Lahabrea, as well, is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azim nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azim to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Vana, who held the position of Azim previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. Wait, what? Now I'm confused. So is he saying that Azim knew somehow that I was around? I always assumed that he was off in his own little world doing something, but it's very weird. Like, he probably doesn't know that I'm a sundered version of him, right? Unless Vana confided in Azim about it, which might actually make sense now that I'm starting to think about things, because otherwise that would mean he was practically clairvoyant, somehow knowing that we were going to come to the past to do all this shit. I don't know, maybe they're both super omniscient, I don't know. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you. To believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Alright, I guess we're buddies. Ride or die. A Keyward's jail. See, it says Gaol, but I know you're supposed to say jail. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, Lahabrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself Lahabrea, and why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe that you've only just now found out that such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandaemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandaemonium, including the fact that Azim and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was... Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywards stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestos' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning? I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you well know, the name Lahabrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestos has claimed that for himself. Oh, so that Hephaestos is Lahabrea's true name. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. Holy shit, was I actually right about the multiple personality thing? He knows all that I know, my equal in every way. Yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire. All the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? Did this dude cut himself in two so that he would only retain, like, the reasonable, not emotional traits? And so he made a being that was like his duplicate, where he put all the traits that he didn't want anymore? Because that's kind of what that sounds like. He is the product of an experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought I sealed him away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. Well, this is a patch called Buried Memory, but I thought that was actually for the MSQ. Maybe it's works on 2 levels. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? Better give some real answers here, pal. His words were but the rambling of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he is awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandaemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster onto our star. As chief keyword of Pandaemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. Wow, that's pretty extreme, pal. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting Lahabrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandaemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet as you can see by Ericthonios' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You've spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Gaddes has stood against. I mean, I guess he would know he's a keyword, right? He'd be familiar with those enemies. Gaddes, is it? A being of such ether as I have never seen. What are you? He is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to his stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Gaddes. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. Lahabrea can't be trusted. What was that you said about being an emissary? What? Did he say something about being an emissary? I mean, we're not going to give up on saving the others. That's a given. He definitely can't be trusted. I kind of want to know what he's talking about being an emissary. That's brilliant. Elidibus, the emissary, may speak on our behalf. Should he judge our approach the more sound, even Lahabrea would be compelled to listen. Oh, that's what that was for? As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust that you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandaemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. Now, that's not the answer he wanted to hear. You have yet to witness Gaddes' might and Ericthonios' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if I indeed find your strength to be lacking, I trust there'll be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandaemonium. You needn't worry about that, we won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Gaddes, come find me when you're finished. We gotta repair this father-son relationship. If that's even possible. Ericthonios is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his troubles, so that their weight might be lightened. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, Lahabrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world. And they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandaemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While Lahabrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not a Lahabrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Gaddes? Does the Lahabrea you know have any regard for the lives of others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? I'm sorry, kid, but it's definitely going to be the latter. Yeah, about that. He always was a man who worked from the shadows. He once used my ally as a vessel for his own twisted ends. That'll be a spicy one to tell him. I have no idea what he might be like in this age. Now, let's give him the full range. Poor Thancred. Took out his ether, by the way. What would possess him to do that? Even for Lahabrea, such an act would be a black mark against him if it were made known. I can't imagine how much your ally suffered. But it is plain there's much to consider. Thank you, Gaddes. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion when he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to Lahabrea that we are capable of saving Pandaemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing how we require every advantage we can afford... Gaddes, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help you at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. Never would I have thought that I'd have to team up with Lahabrea, of all people. He is really tall. He's taller than me. Ericthonios appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azim. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I've ever seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Azim never ceases to surprise. Well, Azim didn't exactly do this. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll retcon it where he did intend to do this. The previous Azim was much the same. In taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourselves in this matter. The true danger of Azim's nature is its tendency to infect all those he comes into contact with. Infectious allyship. Emet-selch said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it? Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they've been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they've been transferred into the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. An angry lady. I speak of hegemony, keyword of Abyssos. Though her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there's something else at work. So did she get warped the same way that Hesperos did? Or is she somebody that's salvageable? If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into Emethios. Emethios? Doubtless against her will. Gaddes, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate. And if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Like we were able to bring you back to normal. Maybe she's not too far gone? Your allies make you bold, Ericthonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. That fucking sullen look. He rolls his eyes. Ugh. Dad. I told you not to talk like that in front of my friends. Oh, it's like goo everywhere. Oh, it's like snake spit or something? Monster spit? Venom? She doesn't even talk, I guess. Oh no, what is this shit? Are they like trap floor elements? Hegemony. Oh, this one actually has lyrics. Oh, wow, okay, pal. Somebody's done this one before, I guess. He's swept away in a flood of ether. Uh-oh. Do I need to look out for... Oh. This seems safe. Choros Ixu? Oh. Oh, it's like that dungeon, it's like Livia from the fucking dungeon, but she gives you way less time to just... Fuck. I'm just thinking too much about it. What is this? Is this gonna make people goo poison? What the fuck? What am I supposed to do here? Do I not move? A colossal parasite attached to me? What the fuck am I supposed to do here? Take control of my body? Uh-oh. Oh shit, sorry guy. Didn't mean to do that. Oh. Oh, okay, so it just makes you do like a cone. That's not that bad. Oh no, what is this gonna be? Just spitting in a circle? Okay. I'm assuming it's gonna, yeah, without any warning. How long does it continue for? Okay. I was gonna do like another circle around. This one actually seems almost like easier than the carbuncle. Unless they toss something. Okay. I speak too soon because now they do some weird shit here. So this is gonna flip? I think? Okay. That's probably gonna get really complicated in the Savage version, I bet. It's probably gonna have like overlapping, reversed or flipped the mechanics. Like multiple panels doing that shit. Alright. So this one would flip with this one, right? I think? Why are people indicating this one? Oh, whoops. I would have fucked that up. Nice. Oh shit. that poor healer just ate it. Oh. Oh well. Well, is she salvageable? I guess we're just gonna lock her away for now. Nice. There's 2 more to go. We've won. The keyword is sealed away, and alive this time. Lahabrea can't deny us now. You'd be surprised, he'll probably find a way. Oh no! Fucking 0 again! 0 slots, every time. Oh, we'll worry about that when we get to it. Servant of Violence. Ericthonios seems eager to dispel Lahabrea's doubts. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit of our methods. You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, ether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue Emet-selch, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue? As for that, there is one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. 'Twould be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandaemonium. Are you going to try to kick your son out of this party? And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. Aww. You're fine. Don't worry. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upraise his companions. That's something that Gaddes and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it's that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act before that path lies close to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. Well, you're in luck, because Hephaestus on the poster is definitely in chains, but he didn't seem too bothered by it. I'm aware that destroying Pandaemonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know what he means. I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandaemonium again. What? You are capable, that much is plain. Yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle. This is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant of the folly of Hephaestus's words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Are you sure about that? Think, Ericthonios. I've already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it? To see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely a performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss... You would call me a fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition? For the sake of the star, no doubt. Uh-oh. Ah, I could hear it again. That voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus. Father. Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. Uh-oh. He's going to the dark side. No, listen not. Listen not, Ericthonios. Who is that voice? Apologies. You taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. No! No! You asshole, Lahabrea, if you had just been a normal fucking dad, none of this shit would have happened. Ugh. Now here comes the regret music. Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Ericthonios, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes on me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. 'Twas but a matter of time until it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. Man, you didn't do shit about it. Don't act like you were not responsible for any of this. A magic woven with such skill that Ericthonios himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywards had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? Mm-hmm. As I thought, someone was trying to warn Ericthonios, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywards? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Ericthonios past the point of no So you admit that you provoked him. You admit that you could have not done that. You fucking jackass. Past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. Oh, don't act like you care now, you jerk. There is time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandaemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Are you sure? Because I think this is only the third one of the raid. Probably have at least one more. Just as with Hesperos, Ericthonios is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. Yeah, because he's got two friends. Two friends that care about him. The way forward is clear. Lahabrea, pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandaemonium is called Tartaros, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. That, I expect, is where Gaddes shall shine. His dissolute ether shall allow him to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus' hand had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. Well, let's hope so. Then time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. I keep thinking they're saying keyword, like a Google search or something. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. Care to explain? We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Ericthonios. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there is the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Ericthonios' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? Oh, maybe it hits him harder than he wants to admit? I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that feel it still greater pain. Did you mean to protect Ericthonios with your silence? So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child. And so you drove your own son over the edge. These are all very good, because they're all scolding him nicely. But I wonder which one I should actually pick. Alright, no, fuck it. So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child? It's not very adult of you. How dare you? No, you're right. The blame for Ericthonios' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well. I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. Alright, all the better motivation to get this dude dead. Or this lady, apparently. The remaining keyword is... Oh god. How do you say this? Agistus? She has served in Pandaemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even amongst the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the very end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agistus. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight, and phantom allies to aid you. As for the interment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. I mean, we got dude right here. The master keyword, he should be able to help us. Right? Interment shall not be necessary. We're not killing this lady, just so you know. From here, I can sense Agista's essence, but it is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was far more ambitious with her than he was with hegemony. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains, so she's just a monster then. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. Eee. All right. The seventh circle of hell, now accessible. All right. A little less gooey than the previous two. Oh, she's the tree? I remember seeing the tree monster in the trailer, but oh Christ. That's unfortunate. Holy shit. Agdistis. R.I.P. It's like a man-eating tree. Yeah, I think the music is stronger than the vocals. Maybe that's what I've been hearing. That's screwing with me a bit. What is this? Vow of Addis? What? Okay. So we avoid the lines, right? Oh shit. Okay, good. Holy. Split up, please. Owie. Okay. I hope it's okay that we don't have one of those circles filled. Oh shit. Whoa! Where are we supposed to go? Up here? Do we stay on one? No. No, we don't. Go. Oh, shit. Oh. Is this gonna toss it down like the center? Oh no. Ads? No. Oh shit. Ah! Uh-oh. This one? This is interesting. It's a very, like... It's more about the arena than the actual boss for this one. I mean, because look how far back I can be and still hit her. Is it still a her anymore, really? Oh. Uh-oh. How the fuck is this supposed to work? Isn't that a pit? Oh, okay. That was a easily answered question. Okay, I need to get this person up. Oh no. Oh god. Ah! This is the worst! Oh shit. Oh, I almost stepped right into it. Oh Christ. What is this? Oh, okay. Nice. Wow. Oh, sorry. Couldn't save you. Oh, no reaction whatsoever. Just that stern face. So now what? Are we gonna talk to Hephaestus? Hopefully? The moment Aegisthus was slain, the flow of ether and Pandaemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. 'Twas almost as if we were ushered here. This space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a keyword would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo. Huh? If only I could restore Tartarus to order, but I am afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master Lahabrea. Likewise, Keyward Aegisthus. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. Is she still dying, though, or dead? It was not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus I am able to appear before you now. Even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands, some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. So that was her voice. Okay. Well, she tried to help Eric. He just was too far gone. The report. That was you. Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I've called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There's something you must know, that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master Lahabrea, but the story must be told. It is the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Ericthonios. No longer can you hide your heart away. Uh-oh, is this I was acting like an asshole to try to save somebody syndrome? God, he looks so unpleasant as a younger man. He's just got the perpetual scowl like Emmett or somebody. Hephaestus? No, the mask marks him as Lahabrea. Master Lahabrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life, and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. Ah! I thought so! These are my recollections of the moments following. And you have truly no intention of revealing the truth to Ericthonios? My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. It would be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Ericthonios believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. What? His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? Don't make me like Lahabrea now, although that's going to be a tall order. If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul mere tools. Oh, what? To be used and discarded. So she was the asshole? God, this game, it keeps pulling me back and forth. First, I feel like somebody is the victim, and then they're not the victim, and then maybe they still kind of are the victim. Like, what the fuck is going on? God damn it. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parents' shadow. Dude, your reasoning is faulty as hell. You made it worse for him. You basically set him up to accept this rage. That's like the worst, reverse psychology I've ever heard. For such a smart guy, you're pretty fucking dumb. Maybe dumb and repressed. Ericthonios loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Lahabrea's nature. Every action, every word is a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I have revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Lahabrea to paint the rest for you. And for Ericthonios, I hope. I don't know about that. He doesn't seem too willing to chat. Thank you, Augustus. I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. I mean, haven't we been doing this the whole time? Or is this just a clue to say, get your shit in order, and then we'll move forth? Augustus was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments. That she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. This is it, I think. One final wish. Lahabrea would speak further of Athena's fate. Yeah, we need some serious info about this Athena now. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research, and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. 'Twas merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Ericthonios could handle the weight of such betrayal, after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research, and succeeded in creating Hemathioi. Hemathioi? So she's the one that made those fucking corrupted people? But why? What's the purpose? I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Ericthonios to safety, in accordance with Augustus's last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple, now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandaemonium to his will. There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the Black Heart of Tartarus, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. So did Lahabrea ever love Athena? Or was this just like an arrangement between the two of them? I mean, they obviously did it once, at least, to have a kid. Lahabrea, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Gaddes' phantom warriors. What, make him do it? Why? I have no objections, and my ability to fight within Tartarus would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I guess it's true, you are your own worst enemy, right? I take it then that you have no intent to seal him away as before. The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and by the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. I mean, if you didn't want him to be around anyway, why couldn't you have created the thing and then just killed it? It would have saved everybody a lot of effort and pain. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Not repeat the same... Yeah, instead of repeating the same mistake twice, you're just making all new ones. Isn't that what Jeff Goldblum says in Jurassic Park? Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. Oh, okay. Kind of a funny part. Funny time to do that. Immediately. Oh, they look like weird DNA strands. No, save the boy!
Ericthonios is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, none will be left to stop me.
Wait, so he has his own voice? That doesn't sound like previous Lahabrea. At all. Oh, what the fuck? Ew. It's like a meaty monster man. I guess that's where Hesperos got his idea from. Ew. Oh, I thought those were eyes on his shoulder. I was like, that's disgusting. It was like 50 fucking eyes, but it's like some weird gem or something. Alright. Going down, Phaistos. I wasn't expecting to kill you, like, this soon, but I'll do it.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison.
Alright, what are we expecting here?
From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight!
Oh, Jesus. I almost didn't realize.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
I almost didn't move in time. Phoenix?
Let seep sorrow into your heart.
Okay. And then another Phoenix? How do you know which side to stand on for
I
this shit?
tire of this farce. Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Oh. Is he gonna do a little bit of what everybody else is doing? Is this the snake lady?
To be consumed.
What the fuck? Okay. Ah! God damn it. This is an interesting remix of this theme. I'm digging it.
Perish in flame's embrace.
Fourfold. Uh-oh. What is this?
Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
I'm gonna follow the healer. Healer usually knows where to go. We have to jump to the other side? Is that it? Oh god! Why me? Well, one of the healers didn't know where to go.
From fulgent flame my servants rise.
Is this center? I think?
Let seep sorrow into your heart.
Ow! Wow! Woof! I was like 2 HP away from death for that one.
I shall see my wish fulfilled.
Oh, what the fuck did he just turn into? What is that? It's like a weirdo monster centaur.
You will know my rage.
What? Okay, so that, and that, and that. Remember the order. Up. Oh god, oh wow, almost too close. Holy shit. That was an ass clench moment. Almost had a face full of lava. What did he just do? Oh god. What is this? Do I get out of here? Oh shit, I'm glad I moved. Oof. So he's gonna do the same thing on this side. But how can you tell which side is not safe? Oh, that's how you tell. Get the fuck out.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
Alright, and then this guy's the center, right?
A fitting death.
So Phoenix is always the sides, and then that little snaky guy is center.
You are prey to be consumed.
This is actually a pretty awesome remix theme for a... Oh god. Which way do I look? Here? Yes? Oh god. Okay, cool. Oh no! Here? Shit. Okay. And then this is just gonna be damage, right? Okay.
You will know my rage.
So center, side. Oh, that's risky, whoever's doing that shit. Okay. Oh no, there's a lot of this one. Oh, that would have been hard. It just kept going. Wow, he's already done? It seems so quick. I don't know, maybe we can have a conversation. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error, when out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. He might be the first ancient main character that's not cute. He has like no eyebrows, or they're very similar to his skin tone. He has almost like Neanderthal brows compared to everybody's pretty boy face. He has a pretty strong nose, and he has a hell of a cheekbone thing going on here. I mean, I know he's an older character older looking character than some of the other ones, but even Emmet, they made him a little too pretty compared to what I was expecting. This is not over. I see you will not go peacefully. Uh-oh. What? He has a question? Raise your hands? Oh, no. Leave him alone. God, he's been through so much shit. Do I have to adopt this kid too? Even a cast-off would uphold his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of Lahabrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Ericthonios' dream to life. Wait, what is his dream? I thought it was just to see his mom. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Ericthonios, he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? I mean, you were doing that. So you're also wrong. Oh, come on, kid. My wish? You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father, yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and he desires to return home. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Ericthonios beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You who are not but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Oh, they're gonna have a showdown here. Mother, she... No, then who... How do I... Is he breaking through? Trust in Lahabrea. Nah, I don't know about that. Hearken to your heart. Come back to us. We're your pals, dude. Come back to us. At least you can trust us. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. No, don't apologize. Athena, did you ever? And Lahabrea, I will have my say. Break those chains. How? His mind was mine. It's the power of friendship? I can't explain. Gaddes' words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. You're done, dude, you fake dad. How? When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've interred much worse. Are you impressed with your kid yet, you ass? You worthless, you are! Oh, get some sharp little chains there. Oh, he was the... Was that the same color of the fucking candy that we have in the present time? Holy shit. It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. Yeah, so that was the oh no. But didn't Claudian say he was gonna go get it by himself? That dude's getting set up to take a fall. You did well, son. Oh god. Are they gonna bond again? But your dad's still Lahabrea, so I still pity you. Where are we? With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Ericthonios above. That he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understated his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. Oh, one more. Truth imperfect. Lahabrea is looking at Ericthonios with concern? Wow. It took a lot out of him, I guess. I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing, it appears your body is none the worse for wear. Oh, was that Themis? I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandaemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? I see. Despite his muddled senses, Ericthonios felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. Of course, now that he's not dead, that means we're still not necessarily done with him. Lahabrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed. He was not but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away. A mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. You know what this seems like? And it sounds like such a long shot, but it's not. Like if you hear me out, this reminds me of like the plot from Tron Legacy. Like, have anyone seen Tron Legacy? Where Kevin Flynn goes to like, you know, the world of the computer, and when he creates Clue, it is technically a program he creates, but the whole concept is that it's like he almost like splits himself in the computer world. But of course, Clue ends up being the worst elements of him, similar to how Hephaestus is like the worst elements of Lahabrea. So it's funny that like at the end of Tron Legacy, the only choice Kevin Flynn had was to merge with Clue, and then in that movie he was destroyed from that, and for some reason it caused a fucking explosion. I don't know why. Because they just couldn't keep paying Jeff Bridges to do movies, I guess. But I wonder if something similar could happen to Lahabrea in the finality of this, where he's forced to, like, he can't destroy Hephaestus, and he has to merge back with him again. I mean, because it's saying he cut a part of him away to begin with. So maybe he has to merge together at the end, and being merged is what ends up making him more like what he is as an Ascian later on. Because he's certainly a different personality as we know him later. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here, and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of Lahabrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of for her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can embrace and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fantasy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Words of Lahabrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weakness of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than what we had ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. And I had sex at least once. It's confirmed. I take it I was born not soon after. Yep. Just so. I believe she bore true affection for me, and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandaemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandaemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandaemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Augustus to keep watch from Tartaros' vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. Oh, is this like an echo? Oh, or not. Oh, they could do little hologram memories. That's cool. Is that me? You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandaemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. You must have known that you could not conceal this form from myself and Augustus forever, as well as you know I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Ericthonios, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. So he did this all to save him? Oh, this poor little kid just hanging in the air. I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time is come, I will have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. Why did he look more like a Neanderthal when he was younger? It seems like when he got older, his features kind of mellowed out a little bit. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I'm well aware. But you did not deign to descend from your lofty height simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great Lahabrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, Lahabrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever. What? You guys gonna merge? Oh wait! Didn't Impossible, you bonded your souls? Wait a minute. This is the shit that, okay. This is the shit that, Igiorm and Lahabrea did in the present time, as Asians, right? Where she says, like, I am become you, and you are become me, or whatever, and we are become one. Aye, that the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything, to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? Maybe in her own fucked up way. I am become thee, memory and mind. Is he gonna... Well, obviously he doesn't go through with it. Right? And I thee. He's gonna trick her. Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. Oh, but then he refused the connection, then, it looks like. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Uh-oh, what is this creepy music? Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains. And when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the self-same fervor. So she basically doomed him to eventually becoming the asshole Lahabrea. So he wasn't an asshole before. And she planted the seed in him that he can't remove of becoming evil. Although, I guess later he just cuts it out of himself and makes a new person. There's his sign. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption of my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. 'Twas my weakness that led this wickedness fester, but never again. Today I shall cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was, and live only as Lahabrea. Oh. Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Iggiorm, and emet-selch in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. Well, I guess she remembered it later because they did end up bonding. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. So just destroy it now, then. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures, and would prepare a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and father should. Yet in truth, he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet for all of that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to other perspectives. Well, at least now you have the full picture, kid. While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does Lahabrea speak true? Well, this one does at least. He did promise, yes, and now it's your turn to do the same. What does your heart tell you? Yeah, let's test this kid. How do you feel about it? I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me, even knowing how I felt about my mother? The Lahabrea I know had a fatal flaw, after all. I'm still not convinced. I've said all that I can say. Now it's time for you to choose to believe me or not. The Lahabrea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano, nice reference, than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more. So before we climb out of the Forsaken Pit, I suppose I should say... Thank you, Hephaestus. How many volcano references has this been now? Like 5? Someone needs to jump in that fucking volcano. Other than Asm. Wait, all of that just to do quest accepted? What the fuck? Okay. I thought that was more like an end of a quest. I've heard enough. There's more I would yet discuss. But we should first return to Pandaemonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. I owe you an apology, Gaddes. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you my thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chose to brave the chaos occurring in Pandaemonium, then I would never known Lahabrea's story. My father's story. Now you guys can repair your relationship, maybe? 'Twas a tale I too was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Asm upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this he foresaw. I am afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandaemonium, there's work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena. Maybe similar DNA? Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. You can't tantalize somebody with that question and expect them to just abandon it. Who does that? And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. Oh, but I don't have it with me, do I? There's another? Yeah, one that doesn't have any markings on it. While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company and Asm was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandaemonium. Then why would they not make themselves known even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders? We shall question them after they are freed. We gotta do something to make sure that the time loop works properly. That task may take some time. A resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure and we'll share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey. Or, if you're so inclined, take a much-needed repose. This talk of journey smacks of Asm. As well it should. He's pledged to keep moving until he's seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to Lahabrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. It's so weird having a friendly Lahabrea to confide in. Not sure how I feel about that. Why, if it isn't Gaddes, excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his search was lost some time ago. I knew it! I fucking knew it! And now we have quite lost track of where he might be. And to make matters worse, Namajiji has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. I was just on my way to the Itioscope, in fact. Please, if you must come with me. Ah, crap. Uh-oh. What the fuck? So now there's a straight up... there's a Pandaemonium just in the ethereal sea? What? What is this? Is this real? Oh, it's real, alright. Real like a fucking heart attack. Why is it whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Who is this? Oh, force note. You've caught me at an awkward moment. Maybe you could go back up the elevator and come back later? Thanks. Ah, fuck. And you too, Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it? As you arrived before me, I take it you're involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. Go from one jerky dad to another. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. While the research summary submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was on his way to Az's Law, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor, even for Claudian, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialized in the ethereal sea, Pandaemonium was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled as to minimize panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for future irregularities. You two, submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation is concluded. Very good. Now, if you excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. Wait, so we're just gonna fucking leave Claudian who knows where until the next goddamn raid tier? Oh, that's not good at all. Oh shit, I don't like that green check. That means I'm correct in that assumption. Fuck. Just when we needed him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I can see how my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandaemonium's pitiless spires justice. I can only wonder, if the facility itself traversed the ages, do the creations within do the same? What are the keywords? But answers to these questions shall come in time, I'm sure. For now, I must do as Lord Fortunato. For now, I must do as Master Fortunato asked and write that report. As for you, Gaddes, pray get what rest your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. Oh boy.